In a world racing toward electrification, one man's invention dares to question everything we know about energy. A mysterious aircraft that supposedly needs no fuel, no batteries, and no recharge, yet flies indefinitely using what his creator calls free energy. And now, Elon Musk has finally spoken. What does the world's most innovative billionaire really think about Maxwell Chikumbutso's free energy aircraft? Is this the beginning of a new age of propulsion? Or just another impossible dream? To understand why Elon Musk's reaction matters, we must first step into the world of Maxwell Chikumbutso, a self-taught Zimbabwean inventor who's made global headlines for his self-powered technologies. Years ago, Maxwell stunned engineers by unveiling the Seth Hexcopter drone, electric cars that recharge themselves, and most controversially, an aircraft powered entirely by electromagnetic energy. He claimed it could generate its own power mid-flight, eliminating the need for fossil fuels or even external charging. To skeptics, it sounded like science fiction, but to dreamers, it was the beginning of something extraordinary. The phrase free energy often sparks heated debate. In physics, it challenges the very laws of thermodynamics, laws Elon Musk himself has cited countless times when dismissing so-called perpetual motion machines. Yet Chikumbutso insists his system doesn't break the laws of physics. It bends them using principles of magnetic induction, radio frequency conversion, and high-efficiency energy recycling. In demonstrations, his aircraft reportedly sustained flight with no visible energy source, drawing global attention and quiet curiosity from major tech figures. For years, Elon Musk, the man behind Tesla, SpaceX, and SolarCity, stayed silent on Chikumbutso's claims. The internet speculated endlessly. Was he ignoring it, studying it, or secretly replicating it? Then, in a recent interview, Musk was asked directly about the possibility of a self-powered aircraft. His response was short but powerful. If someone has truly achieved a system that creates more energy than it consumes, Musk said, then it's not just an aircraft breakthrough. It's the greatest scientific event in human history. That statement rippled across the tech world. Musk didn't dismiss the idea. He challenged the proof. Both men share a dream: to free humanity from energy limits. Musk does it through renewable energy, solar power, and high-density batteries. Maxwell, on the other hand, seeks to tap into a deeper, unexplored source of energy, one that could operate infinitely. While their paths differ, their vision converges on a single truth: the future of flight lies beyond fossil fuels. Imagine a plane that never lands for refueling, cargo ships that sail endlessly, cities powered by invisible energy fields. It sounds impossible, but so did reusable rockets before Musk made it real. If Maxwell's claims are real, and if Musk or others would verify or refine them, the entire energy economy would shift overnight. Oil markets would collapse. Electric grids would transform. The cost of powering the world could drop to nearly zero. But great revolutions come with great resistance. History tells us that disruptive ideas, especially those challenging the status quo, rarely find immediate acceptance. Whether Maxwell's free energy aircraft becomes the next big leap or remains a mystery, one thing is certain: it has reignited humanity's imagination. And Elon Musk's words remind us that true innovation begins where certainty ends. Because in a world where we dare to question the impossible, that's where the future takes flight. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more groundbreaking tech discoveries and visionary innovations. This is your channel name. When impossible becomes imaginable, I end the months following Elon Musk's subtle but thought-provoking statement. Quiet ripples began spreading to the global research community. Scientists, engineers, and energy analysts started revisiting the concept of electromagnetic propulsion with renewed curiosity. The idea of harvesting power from unseen forces wasn't new, but Maxwell Chikumbutso's bold demonstrations had given it new life. Small, independent labs across Europe and Asia began experimenting with energy recycling circuits inspired by Maxwell's patents. Some even reported unusual efficiency results, far beyond conventional expectations. While none dared claim free energy, they admitted something unusual was happening, something not yet fully understood by classical engineering models. Meanwhile, in Silicon Valley, whispers began to circulate about a private meeting between Chikumbutso's representatives and several venture capital firms. The purpose of the discussions remains unknown, but speculation quickly followed. Could Maxwell's invention be entering a new phase, one where the theory would finally meet industrial-scale validation? Behind the scenes, Elon Musk's engineering team at SpaceX had been quietly developing new forms of wireless energy transfer for spacecraft systems. While not the same as Maxwell's self-powering principles, the goal was similar: to reduce dependence on heavy batteries and external fuel sources. According to insiders, Musk found the concept intriguing not because it defied physics, but because it challenged humanity to rethink how energy can flow and be reused. In a recent discussion on X, formerly Twitter, Musk hinted that the real revolution in propulsion won't come from what we burn, but from what we can circulate. That statement alone sent tech enthusiasts into a frenzy. Many interpreted it as a subtle nod to Chikumbutso's vision, an acknowledgement that perhaps the future flight would not rely solely on combustion or lithium, but on mastering the hidden patterns of energy itself. While Musk's empire thrives in the spotlight, Maxwell Chikumbutso has often preferred the shadows. In recent years, his public appearances have become rare. Yet his work continues, quietly, methodically, away from the media storm. Some sources suggest he's refining his designs for broader applications, from drones and electric vehicles to stationary power systems capable of running entire homes without a grid connection. His vision is not merely about creating a product. It's about reshaping how humanity perceives energy as an abundant force rather than a limited commodity. Even as critics question his claims, those who've seen his prototypes remain intrigued. They describe machines that operate with strange calmness, humming gently, consuming no visible power, yet producing consistent motion and light. Whether these accounts are exaggerations or glimpses of a coming reality remains uncertain. What makes this moment in history so fascinating is a convergence of two very different philosophies. On one hand, Elon Musk represents structured innovation, progress born from proven science, engineering rigor, and massive industrial infrastructure. On the other, Maxwell Chikumbutso embodies intuitive discovery, the pursuit of knowledge through vision, curiosity, and a belief that not everything has been explained. And somewhere between these two approaches lies the truth. For Maxwell, it's about liberation, freeing energy from economic and environmental constraints. Their stories, though separate, are threads in the same tapestry, a global movement toward limitless potential. And if history has taught us anything, it's that today's impossibilities often become tomorrow's realities. As speculation grew, an air of quiet anticipation surrounded the global innovation community. No official announcement had been made, yet subtle patterns began to emerge, clues suggesting that a conversation between Musk's research division and Maxwell's associates might have already begun. Insiders spoke of data exchanges, of engineers examining electromagnetic propulsion patterns, and of private demonstrations conducted under strict confidentiality agreements. Though neither party confirmed these interactions, the whispers painted a picture of two great minds orbiting the same idea, slowly drawing closer. It wasn't about rivalry anymore. It was about discovery, the shared pursuit of unlocking something that could redefine humanity's relationship with energy. And early reports from an undisclosed location in Africa, a prototype aircraft, smaller than a jet but larger than a drone, was said to have completed several test flights using Maxwell's adaptive energy system. Witnesses describe a takeoff that was eerily silent, powered by an internal electromagnetic engine that seemed to draw power from within its own circuitry. Observers noted the absence of exhaust, vibration, or fuel odor. The craft glided smoothly, adjusted its direction effortlessly, and landed without a trace of energy depletion. Though no official data was released, the demonstration was enough to reignite the world's curiosity. At that very moment, a quiet message appeared on one of Elon Musk's private forums. Every impossible claim deserves a fair test. If it works, humanity wins. The post was brief and signed and quickly removed, but screenshots spread within minutes. For many, it was a sign that Musk himself had taken interest not as a skeptic, but as an investigator. As global media picked up fragments of the story, the world began to wonder what this could mean for future flight. Aviation companies, once dismissive, started exploring similar energy conversion concepts. Research grants were quietly redirected toward magnetic induction technologies, and universities began introducing new studies on nonlinear energy resonance, a field inspired, at least in part, by Maxwell's mysterious blueprints. Behind the scenes, SpaceX engineers were rumored to be developing a hybrid propulsion model, blending traditional ion thrusters with elements of self-sustaining electromagnetic drives. The goal was not to replicate Maxwell's technology, but to understand the principles that made it appear so efficient. At the same time, Maxwell continued to refine his own designs. His vision was deeply human. To see a world where transportation, homes, and even rural villages could access power freely and endlessly. For him, it was not a race for profit or prestige. It was a mission of purpose. Though continents apart, Musk and Maxwell seemed to walk along parallel lines. Both dreamed of a civilization untethered from fossil fuels, one reaching for the stars, the other illuminating the earth. In the rare moments when they spoke publicly about energy, their words carried a strange harmony. Musk emphasized scaling renewable technology for interplanetary use, while Maxwell spoke of freeing humanity from dependence on costly resources. Together, they formed two halves of a single vision, the quest for boundless energy. And somewhere between the labs of California and the workshops of Harare, a silent understanding was forming. That innovation is not about who leads, but about what is discovered for the good of all. As interest in the free energy concept grew, new partnerships began to form. Young inventors and engineers from across the globe joined online forums, sharing blueprints, simulations, and open-source designs inspired by Maxwell's theories. The movement became more than a scientific quest. It evolved into a cultural awakening. In cities and villages alike, people began to imagine a world without energy scarcity, where aircraft could cross oceans without refueling, where homes could power themselves indefinitely, and where the dream of sustainable exploration beyond Earth became attainable. For the first time, the world was united by curiosity rather than competition. Months passed, and the quiet hum of innovation began to swell into something extraordinary. Rumors turned into reports, and reports became confirmation. A joint demonstration was being prepared, one that would bring together the world's most forward-thinking minds under a single vision. At a secured testing site, far from the noise of headlines and speculation, a sleek, silver aircraft stood ready. Its design blended the aerodynamic precision of SpaceX engineering with the elegant simplicity of Maxwell's electromagnetic systems. The project, whispered to be called Eclipse One, represented more than machine. It symbolized unity, courage, and imagination. When the aircraft lifted off, the world held its breath. There was no roar, no trail of fire, only a gentle rise, smooth and graceful, as if the sky itself had opened to welcome a new kind of flight. The aircraft climbed higher and higher, powered by the invisible rhythm of energy flowing through its core. For a brief moment, all divisions between science, innovation, and belief seemed to dissolve. Humanity witnessed what once seemed impossible: sustained flight without traditional fuel. After the flight, Elon Musk shared a message that spread across every corner of the internet. Today, we've proven that the greatest resource in the universe isn't energy, it's imagination. When people dare to collaborate, boundaries fade. Shortly after, Maxwell Chikumbutso made a rare public statement of his own. This is not my invention, nor any man's alone. It's a gift of understanding, that energy is everywhere, waiting to be recognized. Their words resonated deeply. What began as a distant dream had become a testament to what humanity could achieve when vision and science moved together with purpose. Within years, new technologies emerged inspired by the Eclipse breakthrough. Power grids began to shrink as decentralized energy systems took root. Aircraft became quieter, cleaner, and infinitely more efficient. Remote villages gained access to sustainable electricity, and the concept of energy poverty slowly began to fade. The skies, once filled with the sounds of combustion, now carried a serene hum, a sound that reminded people of the moment when belief met innovation. For Elon Musk, the achievement was another step toward a multi-planetary civilization. For Maxwell Chikumbutso, it was a realization of a lifelong dream, a world powered not by consumption, but by connection. And for humanity, it was the beginning of a new chapter, One where energy was no longer something to fight over, but something to understand, share, and celebrate. From the deserts of Africa to the laboratories of California, two dreamers followed different paths that converge in the sky. Their journey reminds us that the future isn't waiting to be found. It's waiting to be imagined. And somewhere above the clouds, the first free energy aircraft still soars, powered by the same force that moves every great invention forward: human hope.